on. You are late for my wedding.
Like, I don't know, the death comparative lately has come up. It came up about 5 years ago. I started on this death thing. Oh, death. Like, what is death? And I, with my parents getting older, my mom got sick and then we had to deal with it because she almost died. And then she was such a different person before that. So it sort of came up vicariously through her. And I, I'm so grateful for this work because I don't have to build all those stories and fix things and, make things better. And it's just like, just be here now. And she's actually doing really, really well because she's like focused on the grandkids, focused on, just getting through every day. And it I guess it helps in a sense, but
In a way, it's when you face something like that for her, I'm sure she's just grateful to have another day.
yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. And that's where you want to be. So it's almost like, okay, well, where do you want to be? Like, are you glad to be here? And I've been really, really grateful the last few years, especially because in 2016, I finished my last court case, and I had been in court for like so many years. And I was thinking about it today. I was thinking, because I met Gail through that process, and I would get so ramped up. I would get so, and it was so much pre-work for what's going on right now, because all through that time, I felt like I was doing what I'm doing now with all that stuff. It was just like this, take the fear out of it, take the fear out of it, put the love in it, put the love in it. And now, like, watching what's happening, I'm like, wow,
Oh,
all happening.
and it's funny, because we turned the corner December 21st, 2012. And I was writing my market analysis back then, and I commented on, end of the world, but it's really astronomical thing where it all lines up. And about 2 months afterwards, I was like, I feel a shift.
Yeah.
The energy. Don't ask me what it is. And next thing you know, I'm being saw. Okay, I am. And this was going on in my market analysis, right? And I'm writing to some ex-senators and their wives and ex-Fed heads and stuff like that, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, because one of them had made the remark, I had stated that, we'll have some problems here in the Middle East because of these terrorist things going on, so that means this and this business wise and all this. And one of the senator's wives wrote me back and, well, what do you think America will do about it? It's like, why do you think America has to do anything about it? It was Jordan's plane that got crapped out by somebody in Afghanistan. I think Jordan has bought enough planes where they can go get in one of them and go bomb the shit out of them if they didn't like it. Next day it happens.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I'm telling her, see, they can think for themselves. They know what to do.
Yeah.
You have to do it. What makes you think we're the world's policemen?
I know.
No, we're not. Live and let live. That's the
okay.
Make democracies come together, talk.
Yeah.
But get over it. We helped you in World War II. We helped the world get back on their feet. This is where we came to. And now we're ready to step back and say, go.
Yeah.
And government doesn't want to do that.
Well, it's almost like being like, for me, being in that fixer position, right, on a micro level, like having that reflected back to me. all the time now because I stepped out of it
Yeah.
and then realizing, oh, like honestly, last night I was like, I had to forgive myself for not being able to fix. Sorry, it's sort of weird because I always felt like I had to be in between like the fixer. So I understand what you're saying on a mass level. Like I had to go over there and fix that. Well, I had to forgive myself for that last night. I was like, I forgive you for thinking you ever had to fix anything, especially in between arguments with my parents, because they always did this thing where my mom would save it because she was scared to do it when he was there alone with her. So she'd wait till I was there and then she'd confront him. And right. So
Yeah.
I said, and I learned, I've worked really hard on all as well. So we were having dinner and she was getting really riled up. And I was like, okay, all is well, all is well. And I said to her, I go, oh, well, like, you know better. Just enjoy your dinner. Don't let those things pull you out of having a nice dinner right now. And she immediately switched her whole demeanor into, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I was
Yeah.
right. Because before I'd be like, okay, well, you and you shouldn't do that, and paying attention to the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
And thinking you have to point out to them.
right.
They don't know.
Right. And like you said, why they'll figure it out. Like allow people to figure it out. And for a fixer, that's like, I think it was a
That's
fear.
hard.
It is because it was a fear of actually allowing myself to be in the presence of that kind of conflict and fear, right?
Right.
Like the biggest lesson for me right now is just sit in that. When someone's showing you something, don't dive into it and start getting into it. Like, oh my God, how many times I could have saved myself. And I actually got kind of like moved last night, like driving home. I was like, oh my God, like I can forgive myself that I don't have to figure all that shit out.
Exactly.
You know? It's so relieving, and so for them, and have faith in them that like you said, that they can figure this out.
Right.
I can figure this out for myself. I can pay attention to the things I want. I can, because I kind of did this previous thing where I was getting angry at them and like going like, I'm not going to be around if you guys do this. Like it's like trying to, and it wouldn't work. It would never work.
Yeah.
And
How
last
are you
night
going
I
to
was
keep
like,
away from them?
last night I was like, what do I want right now? I just want to eat my dinner and be chill. Like, let's just, because it was so beautiful. My mom cooks amazing and she does this, like all this effort. I was like, oh, like, let's just enjoy our dinner.
Yeah.
And and she's actually really good at doing that for me, because I was always the expressive one in the family, and she'd always be like kind of chill, like, I don't want to get into this crap, right? But she's getting older now and she's getting more spicy, and it's like, don't bother. Just stay in your presence and in your power of consciousness, because it's like we're having a great dinner. We're grateful. Like, you guys are here. You know, you want to appreciate them. Like, that's all my goal is, appreciate them and all their ups and downs and goods and bad, like whatever your trip is today. Because my dad, he's pretty intense. He taught me a lot of really cool stuff. He's a very it's weird for me though, because he was such a presence, like when I was growing up, about be strong, be a person, like all this stuff. And then he allowed fear to kind of creep in. So I'm experiencing the other side of that with him. And I'm like, I'll say to him, yeah, but Dad, you taught me that, you control your thoughts, you control what is going on. But he sits and watches a lot of news, so it starts to distort his thinking, right?
Right. Well,
So it's like,
I'm the best you can get. Have you guessed me yet? I'm the slime oozing out from your take it away, Don.
Interested, you just tell them, Dad, sit back. Don't suspend your belief and go into those stories.
yeah,
Listen to how they jack with them.
yeah,
What war is not bloody?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
he's a war fanatic, like knows every story, reads every story.
My
And
husband.
yeah, and okay, so for me, like Gail and I talk a lot about this, right? Like I'm doing that thing now because last night I was like, where in this is forgiveness? What am I forgiving? Who am I forgiving? And then I realized, oh my God, I'm forgiving myself.
Yeah.
And it's forgiveness is weird like that because I had a lot of things that I thought I had to forgive out there all the time. I have to forget. And then I was like, oh yeah, but it still doesn't feel like I'm forgiving because I'm angry. And then it was like, why am I so angry? And then I was like, oh my God, I'm so angry because I haven't forgiven myself.
Well, yeah, what most people don't get, it's how you say it. Okay, because it's in the Lord's Prayer, it's forgive us our trespasses
Yes.
as we forgive those who trespass against us.
Yeah.
So you're forgiving the mirror for showing you your thoughts.
Yes. And see, I never saw it like that before. I always thought it was like you forgave out there and then you got this return somehow.
And literally what happens is when you, like, if you lied to me, well, I forgive Jane for lying to me. Just an example. And literally, you know, the way things are presented to us is from the one consciousness in our hearts.
Right.
So you say something like that, you know, and it's an immediate thing. Oh, great. Let me rip this off of here. And it literally comes out of your head. Because if it comes off the heart, it comes out of your head. It's automatic.
Yeah.
That's what that prayer means.
Right.
So
and
it's like you don't have to struggle with how you see this person. Just forgive them.
Yes.
And God changes your perception for you. Instead of, I don't know about you, but when I stumbled on Neville, it was like, that's just too hard. We're up close and personal.
Yeah.
You know, I can't stay in that thought that he's that way. How do I get this out of me?
Yes.
Right. And I literally just opened up the Bible and there it was. That passage in Matthew where Jesus says, forgive 7 times 70 and keep forgiving. I'm like, oh. Yeah. And then it just started, oh yeah, this is how you change it. This is how you do it.
Well, there's layers too, right? So there's like that layer of like, that's what I felt last night. I felt my heart. I felt like I had taken the last layer off my heart.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing like, be grateful for them. Don't get involved. Don't look at them. And actually last night I revised it and I was like, they get along all the time. They're happy. They love each other. They're there for each other. They've got this. They've got this. Right?
Yeah.
Like I used to think, because I used to think like that. And then people change and they start I changed and I started seeing the other side of
Right then, everyone. I'll move my box. You're gonna need the space. I only came for the dancing.